All right, so having talked about the 3030 and the 7.62 by 39, obviously we're going to talk about 300 AAC Blackout now. 300 AAC Blackout came about because certain special operations units and frankly a lot of private sector shooters shoot a lot of suppressed weapons. And the special operations side, suppressors make the weapon longer, so what's their goal? Make the weapon shorter before you suppress it. You see things like the Mark 18 and stuff like that coming out. Very good for CQB, but they're on the bleeding edge of reliability for the system. So what can we do to do things to make the weapon more reliable? Well, put a suppressor on it, let the back pressure replace some of the dwell time from cutting the barrel down. Well, that works. But now when we cut the barrel down, we lose velocity. And the 5.56 cartridge is very, very much velocity dependent for its terminal effect. So obviously these guys wanted something with a little bit more ass behind it, right? But it still needed to run well with a can, and it needed to do very well both terminally and exterior ballistics, meaning how it flies through the air out of a really short barrel. So Remington got together with AAC. AAC makes suppressors. If you want to design something purpose-built for running suppress, a suppressor company is probably a good place to partner with, right? So what do they come up with? Well, you've got two different loads. You've got a subsonic and a supersonic. Obviously, if you're going to run suppress, subsonic's the way to go, because a sonic crack is you're not going to suppress that, okay? So by getting rid of it, you make the gun even quieter. Now, the subsonic loads, you're looking at about a 220 grain bullet at about 1,000 feet per second with right at 500 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. Now, what's this sound like? This sounds an awful lot like a 45 ACP, a little bit hotter than a 45 ACP, not by much, but by a little bit. Right, so this is not a slouch, but unlike your 45 ACP, this is really quiet, and it's not a pistol cartridge, so it's actually got a little bit of range to it. If I was going to set up a 300 Blackout, it'd be set up to run suppressed with 220 grain subs all day long. Now, if you go up to the supersonic, you're going to hear some familiar numbers. 110 grain bullet at 2350, 2375-ish. Sound familiar? With 1377 pound-feet of energy. 125 grain bullet, 2200 feet per second roughly, 1360. Lehigh Defense does a 78 at 2800 with 1358. And there's a 90 grain Barnes at 2550 with 1300. This is not a slouch of a cartridge, but notice like the 7.62 by 39, numbers wise, it's awful close to a 30-30. A little fluctuation here and there, but very, very close. So, and so when people ask, will this be good to hunt with? It's like, well, how many whitetail deer has a 30-30 kill? A fucking lot. And with numbers fairly close to that, 300 Blackout would be an excellent choice to set your AR up as a deer rifle.